This is Serious Sam 4. We're here on Xbox Series X taking a look at the latest entry in this actually fairly long-running shooter series that's quite over the top, a little ridiculous, and full of really intense, pulpy, gory action. So on the Series X, it was a bit of a surprise drop, like it just randomly appeared one day, and I was like, oh wow, crazy, didn't see that coming. And yeah, it just kind of appeared, ready to go, and that's kind of the gist of the series. It released on Stadia as an exclusive. I guess Google paid for exclusivity on it for a while, and that's where I initially ran through the game and did a review of it. So it's kind of cool to see it finally arrive on the console and to see what it is delivering. So, you know, it is kind of an old school shooter in regards to the gameplay. You know, you gotta pick up health, you die, you gotta like restart like pretty far back. And yeah, that's kind of the gist of the setup here, and it's just like crazy action. This is like I believe the first opening level thing, and well there's like a, you know, like a prologue where it's like this huge battle scenario, and that kind of rewinds like a later segment. But yeah, so on the Series X we get a lot of options. So first off, the controls. You get some different aiming stuff. You know, you might want to play around in there. Those are all the default settings. I always show off default stuff when I do videos. So game options. You know, you can do like profanity filtering. You can do like allowing seasonal content. You know, preferred view. So you can do like over different perspectives if you want, like over shoulders. So like third person and stuff. And, you know, view bobbing. And you can even change your player model. You can be Santa. But yeah, there's lots of different options, so you can be like all these different, you know, characters and stuff. Like, oh, there's like a skeleton thing, that's crazy. But yeah, you can, you know, you can do all kinds of different character options. There's just like a huge range of different choices if you want to go for that. Oh, in the future it's just him, but he's got a beard. Crazy. And then of course we've got well, sound options as well. But I did want to mention voice options in case you hate the voice. you can change that, because I know some people are like, oh. So we get two options. We get performance and we get graphics. So it's kind of interesting sort of switching between the two. We've been doing performance, so let's switch over to the graphics setting and kind of show that off here. So I noticed when you switch to graphics that it seems that there's like a bit slower of a moment where the textures kind of like, in some situations you like go up and you'll see like the texture kind of loading in a little slower, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's definitely interesting how that is handled between two different modes that are present here. It's actually quite fascinating. Now obviously performance does give you that, well, better performance, but I don't think the game particularly runs perfectly well, no matter which option you choose. Like, it wasn't exactly a golden child of performance even on the Stadia, but, you know, it was just like, oof, okay. I mean, they use their, I think they got like a proprietary engine and whatnot, and I guess it makes sense. Sense that we have some issues going on in that regard, because it is, you know, they're not like a huge company and stuff, but at the same time, yeah, it would be nice to have better performance. So we do get like a 4K resolution target, dynamic, I would assume in both scenarios and whatnot. Just obviously when you switch down from, you know, the from the performance mode, you definitely are sacrificing the FPS and whatnot, because it is trying to give you 60 FPS. Keyword on trying to give you 60 FPS. Oh, and there's like there's like side objectives you can do in the game too if you wanna, you know, do something outside of just the main story. Like there's like little secrets you can find and stuff here or there. But yeah, I mostly just did the campaign, like the main core campaign, when I was playing it on Stadia even back in the day, because, you know, I wanted to get through things. It's a decent length to it, so I think that's fine in regards to having extra content. There's also a survival mode with a few maps. There's also online multiplayer, so you can do like some co-op campaign stuff, 4 players, some co-op survival. I couldn't seem to connect to any like multiplayer setups, so I don't know if it's just you know, broken right now, or they're having server issues launching you know, the way they launch, so I don't know about that, but I wasn't able to try it because it just, I couldn't connect, so that experience might be a little bit different for you. But yeah, it's trying to hit that 60 FPS no matter where you go, but you know, quality mode, it's going to be a lot, like significantly lower, not really close to 60 FPS most of the time. And then, you know, performance is closer to, but still, you're going to have frequent drops on all the different levels when you're going and playing this. And there is, you know, quite a drop resolution quality wise, so it's targeting 4K, but then it's significantly lowered among other adjustments to get the performance mode going so that the game is a little bit smoother. But yeah, you're gonna notice this across your entire experience. But anyways, it's just kind of a fun game, you know, it's silly, it's you know, it's not necessarily like the most amazing experience ever, but you know, it's enjoyable. It's Serious Sam. I think if you've played a Serious Sam game, you'll probably, you know, you know what you're getting into. It's just like a crazy meat grinder type of shooter experience that's over the top, you know, full of action, full of insanity. You doing your thing, trying to save humanity from these like alien monsters. You've got this guy with just like a really, I don't know, is deadpan the way to go? Can we climb up that way? I don't know what you would call it. Maybe deadpan. Maybe it's just his humors were really quite crude, but you know, it's a really wild, over-the-top scenario where you are literally just like fighting huge swarms of alien monsters on a, well, maybe not a variety of different scenes. Like, this has a very specific front that you are fighting in. You know, they've got like, oh, you're still here. you just been waiting for me. Like, there's a big Coliseum battle, and you know, I think you get an idea of the gist of where like the setting is for this one. You get like a wide range of different weapons you can use. You know, there's different combative scenarios. Sometimes you're fighting in like, you know, specific areas that are like, I guess you would say like little closed off survival waves. Sometimes you're fighting through sections to get to new spots. You know, it's a mix of, hey, you gotta be smart, and it's like, the whole point of it is basically to be overwhelmed by the flow of enemies. Like, this isn't even a crazy spot. Like, you might be like, oh, this is running relatively fine at this point, but it's like, there is some insanely like full areas where there is a lot going on. Like, the last level is super cool, but it's also like, you know, there's so many freaking enemies on the screen that it's just like ridiculous almost. Absolutely ridiculous. And then there's like a cast of supporting characters that are also just ridiculously over the top. Whoa! That was in my face. And tons of different, well, maybe not tons, but you know, there's a good variety of different enemies. I think if you're coming from like a previous Serious Sam game, though, you might kind of be like, oh, I was kind of expecting some different, you know, kind of foes and whatnot in this one, but you know, I still think there's good variety to who you're fighting, and you know, there's some big enemy type things you'll have to face off against. Like, these guys are like basically like almost medium, which is kind of funny. But yeah, it can get pretty gnarly, pretty crazy, and I think that is kind of the fun of it, is just the intense insanity. Like, it's a very gory, visceral sort of experience, and that is what you expect out of Serious Sam. That's, you know, that's what it's supposed to be like. Oh, and they've got like these little cinematic moments. It's like some of them are like, some of them are cool, but some of them are a little bit weird.
Oh look, it's an angry steak.
But I don't know, I think in general, you can have a bit of fun with this one. You know, if you just want a shooter that is ridiculous, a shooter that is, you know, not trying to take itself too seriously, one that has a lot of fun with the weird, messed up material you're dealing with, I think you will find this one to be intriguing. You get to use a bunch of different guns. You know, you can do the survival mode and have all the guys' bombs going, kind of chasing you and stuff, and, you know, that's always fun. As you try to survive. Because, again, survival mode is like, there's not a lot of, I wish there was actually more survival mode kind of content going on there. It's a bit minimal, but that is a lot of the fun of it, is just being like, whoa, there are so many things attacking me. It's like an intense you know, battle fest here, and it's just like trying to survive. I need, not that, I need weapons, bullets. I need health. Sam is serious, but he's not invincible. And, you know, it can be, I guess you would say, a little bit difficult at times. You know, keep that in mind. You might be like, whoa, this is too hardcore or whatnot.
Alright, folks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mothership sucks you up.
So this, again, is some of the environments. Like, it's very, like, linear.
Mental's really into recycling.
You know, the gameplay-wise, but there are some spaces where it's a bit more, like, open in terms of being like, hey, larger fields of battle. Ow. Definitely did not appreciate these attacks. But the play spaces are decently varied, but aesthetically it's a very similar one the whole way through. Until you get to, like, the end game, and there's, like, I don't want to spoil things, because I'm assuming some people will be playing this for the first time since it was, like, on Stadia first off. But, like, you know, you get to a lot more of, like, an open outback type of area. Secret armor's been found.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, you tell him, serious Sam. But, yeah, you get to, like, these big, like, excessively open spaces that don't really...
Sam, I'm getting a signal from Father
I don't think they really add a whole lot to things, but, you know, it's neat, you know. You got, like, a guide arrow if you do, right on the D-pad. If you go down on the D-pad, you get third person. So that's kind of cool.
Look, I'm not even running backwards. This is the perfect
The holodeck thing. It's kind of almost weird doing a third person thing, but I guess that's if you choose your character, you want to be like Santa, you can see a difference, right? But it does have like a sort of like visual like charm to it that I think is quite lovely. I need weapons. Oh, I need bullets is my big thing. Ow. I don't like getting shot like this. But I think many people will love the charm of Serious Sam. I mean, the games are so ridiculous, but, you know, they're fun. I wish your AIs actually did, like, anything. He's just standing. He's, like, basically just following me with, like, you know, providing some exposition and stuff and that. He's not actually doing anything out here.
Finally.
But, you know, there's also the Serious Sam, like, collection. So you might find that to be kind of intriguing. Why am I... Sorry, I'm like... She's switching over... I'm supposed to switch my guns. I thought I just got shells. Oh. Oh, there's that thing. That's fun. That's a good scream. It's a good time for you to die. Hard.
Oh, sir, I recognize that.
So, I mean, it does... There we go.
Let me take it
You know, it
apart
does
so you can
expand
have
the
a
scope
closer
of the series. It is that next chapter. If you're a Serious Sam fan, you're probably going to want to jump in on this and, you know, see what it has to offer. You know, get that next bit of story if you care about the story for whatever reason in this, like, franchise. You know, that is present there. Oh, yeah, there's a drop-down area here with some armor. You don't want to fall down or you have to, like, walk through the whole level. I guess it's kind of impressive that the whole level is just, like, present there, but at the same time it's, like, it's a bit odd, isn't it? Just a bit odd. Do not shoot. Secret project area, no visitors. But I want to go there. We definitely have, like, these weird offshoot areas. I always found that strange. Question is, will we survive or will we die? Oh, we actually did die. That's funny. Oh, and I guess I should have mentioned this earlier too. There are some like pretty long load screens in this one, like almost excessively long, just to get into levels. Like it's not the worst in the world, but if you're used to like the next gen loading, it is a bit strange because it is optimized too. But that was the thing, even on Stadia, they had the loading going on and all that. So I guess it's not like a new thing for this game. It's just kind of like, you know, you switch to survival level or something like that, and it's like the load time's almost longer than you... Well, maybe not longer, it's exaggerated, but, you know, it's just like comparatively really long. You know, looking at other games I've seen this gen, it's a little bit weird how long it actually takes this one to load and whatnot. Take out this monster, but it does kind of feel fun, you know, playing these big play spaces, doing this different combat and stuff, and I think it kind of is entertaining. I just want to go and get some armor in that. I think I remember actually some levels I like backtracked just to find like new armor in that, because you do kind of feel like you're a bit starved at times for it. I suppose that's like a difficulty modifier on this one, as being like, I need to find health and armor and, you know, getting lucky with killing things and stuff. It's a bit wild. I mean, it's not too intense. Like I just like ran through it when I was first, you know, doing my review of it on Stadia. It was just cool to experience, you know, the Serious Sam game, having a new one come out and being like, oh, cool, you know, it's so limited on that regard. But it is exciting to see it like this. And I do, you know, I suggest looking at the collection. You might find that to be something fun. If you like the gameplay style here, you'll be like, oh, that's kind of cool. I mean, the other ones definitely feel, I wouldn't say archaic, but they definitely have like an aged style to them in comparison to this one. Oh, look, more enemies to take care of. Look who it is. Look at that crazy explosion. You can see why humanity's having some troubles. Amen.
Brother Mikhail, I presume.
I thought there was supposed to be convoy.
I am the convoy.
Hi, I'm Kenny.
Hellfire, we're ready for extraction.
I'm picking up Rodriguez and Jones at the Piazza della Repubblica. Meet me there?
It's a date. Father, grab your stuff. Let's not keep the lady waiting.
I have my shotgun and my faith, son. I am already packed.
So yeah, that's what I'm talking about for loading screens. Takes a while. I mean, the levels are decently sized, I guess, for like a smaller title, but it's just like, I don't know, it's a little wild. Guess we should probably switch back again to graphics. I wanna, like, I'm trying to be showing them all off and stuff. Actually, let me look at the color scheme option. Ooh, you can do different color schemes. Noir! That's fun, right? Like, I don't know. It's cool when they do stuff like that, and yeah, just have fun with like color schemes. I don't mind that sort of extra thing. Like, they definitely do give you some different features in this one. I think that's nice. Yeah, you can feel how slower it comes across in this.
All this way from Russia to find the Holy Grail?
I think.
Technically, like Catholicism, Holy Grail is heretical. But this is no time for dogma. Each must do all he can to save planet.
Previously reported, the EDF front has been pushed back further towards
Stand united for Earth.
Is that a giant metal space snake?
Yep.
Oh, I
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the performance.
see. Good. That's good.
Yeah, definitely a resolution drop. That's pretty cool looking. Anyways, you know, basically Serious Sam 4. It's a fun time. I enjoy it. I think it's a little crazy, a little gnarly. Something you can have fun exploring and battling and dying in.
They beat me.
And now for a short editorial. Who is Lord Ackerman? He's pretty evil, that much clear, but who is